Hi guys, welcome to the long run number 3. Today we have Olwyn Dunne. Olwyn is a marathon runner, an ultra runner, very much involved in parkrun and the development of parkrun in Ireland. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Olwyn.
I suppose, like lots of people, I came to running later in life. I know lots of people do it from school, etc. But I was about to turn 42 years of age, and that coincidentally was the age at which my mum had passed away. She unfortunately passed away very young from breast cancer in the 70s. So around that age, I was starting to think of my mortality and what I could do to get fitter and healthier. And I was always relatively active, but I never ran. I imagine I may have run a bit in school. I can't really remember. Played the odd bit of hockey. So I was active, but not what you would call a sports person at all. And somebody suggested I try doing the triathlon. At the time, I was kind of dipping in the 40 foot, and I honestly thought, not a hope in hell, not for me. But so that was back, maybe it's almost 13 years ago now. It is 13 years ago now that I started running. And I did it, went along, absolutely loved it. It was so inclusive. Around that time was when events were becoming extremely inclusive to people like me who were just starting out. And I kind of felt that the run was probably my best. I enjoyed it all, but the running came handy enough to me, and I loved it. And just kind of kept going from there. That was it basically, and became hooked after a short while. Did the very wrong thing of running a marathon within the first year of starting running, which everybody says don't do, and lots of us do. And so I did triathlon in the June, and at the time Dublin wasn't selling out the minute it opened up. So I was lucky enough to do the 10 mile, the half, and Dublin Marathon, my first one then in 2008. And I absolutely loved it. Did everything wrong in the race, started too fast, everything wrong, but finished across the line and was instantly hooked. So that was me for running. That's how I started. Okay. The reason I joined the club was I was kind of looking up, say, running forums, etc., and it kept popping up. People would say join a club, but again, like loads of people, I thought, oh no way, I can't join a club. I'm just a beginner and they won't have me. And I didn't realise that clubs welcome all levels. So I was looking around. We live in Glenageary, and Blackrock's a great club very near us. But Joe, my husband, works in town, so I thought, oh well, I'll try Crusaders in Irish Town. That'd be handy for him from work. Again, at the time we joined, I couldn't really attend the training sessions because the kids were young and I was often bringing them to training. So it's kind of more for Joe. He started running 3 years after me, and we both were keen to improve. So we joined, I'd say, primarily with the aim of sort of improving, and we're very open to it, but didn't really realise how much it would bring to us, as in lifelong friends, a social outlet, and definitely saw an improvement in our running. And we're still in Crusaders Athletics Club, which is in Irish Town, and just love it, have great friends there. And the nice thing, anyone thinking about joining a club, it's very relaxed. Get in touch, definitely give it a go. And there's all levels at nearly all running clubs, so you'll be made to feel very welcome. And some people, even if you're not keen on improving times, etc., it's just great to have a different social outlet. Obviously, at the minute, with the pandemic, there's no training on the track during level 5 restrictions, but we have a great COVID officer, Susan, on the committee, had us back when we were allowed to do so under restrictions, under really strict guidelines. So that was so magic to get back to the track, even if people weren't near us. And what we're doing now in our running club, and I know lots of clubs are doing it, lots of events, etc., is we're doing virtual challenges. And that's just fantastic. The weather is fairly grim at the minute, really challenging to get out. So it's so nice to know. Again, it's a no pressure thing. So I'm really, really enjoying it, and I'm pushing myself a little bit for the challenges. So that's why we joined the club. Joe loves it. The kids were in it when they were younger. They're not running at the minute, but that's why I joined Crusaders Athletic Club. Anyone watching this thinking of joining the club, get in touch as soon as restrictions are lifted and join your local club. It's a no-brainer. My favourite event or race, again, I'm sure, like I know from the people you've interviewed, it's very hard. People find it very hard to decide which one. If I was to pick a distance, I probably love 10-mile races because it's long enough for me, but you can recover well. But yeah, I much prefer longer stuff. Two events stick out. One of them, I'm advertising it at the minute with my lovely hat, would be Donaghadee 50k. That's the Irish National 50k Championship, and that takes place in Donaghadee Forest in Kildare every year. Not taking place this year, sadly. It's instead of a virtual event, Anta was calling it a celebration ultra, and people are choosing to run it or not. So that's just a really magic race. I was really lucky to join in when early on, before it was hugely popular and selling out, and they're restricted for numbers because of the forest, but it's such a special event. It's almost like a festival of running. It's 10 5k laps in the forest, and the support is magic every 5k. The marshals and volunteers from Donaghadee Athletic Club are amazing. Anto, the race director, is quite the character, and it's just a really special event, and the cutoff is 5 hours, so it is quite achievable. It's a big challenge, but you know, everyone is welcome, whether you're going to finish first and break the National Irish 50k record or just jump in under the 5 hours. So yeah, Donaghadee 50k would be right up there, my all-time favourite. And then again, like most people in Ireland, Dublin Marathon has to be there too. It's my hometown marathon. It was the first really big race I did, and I'm lucky enough to have been welcomed along to pace it. Joe and I run as pacers and have done for the last few years, and it's just pure magic. I missed it terribly last year, like everyone did. The weekend, the expo, running through the city, all the areas that are so special and magic. I haven't raced it in a very long time, so I'm hoping if it goes ahead this year, that I may actually race it instead of pacing. We'll see, who knows. Nobody's making any racing plans. It'll be good to race it again. But yeah, it's just so special. Volunteers amazing. Jim Ockney and all the team, Eugene and everyone do an amazing job, and it's a really special event. So I'd have to pick two favourite events, Donaghadee 50k and Dublin Marathon. Best performance, well, I don't have too many. I enjoy every single race I do. I think, first of all, if you can start, it's a bonus to toe the start line, because so many of us get injured, etc. And then cross the finish line, I think you're winning right there. But there are obviously days sometimes when it clicks and goes really, really well, and other days when it's just a pure hard slog. Even the hard slog days when I blow up and do really badly, I'm still relieved to get to the finish line and thankful to get to the finish line. My best performance, I suppose, most memorable and possibly my best would have been Donaghadee 50k, the year I was really lucky to win it, because it was a small field back then, and as I like to joke at the time, all the ladies obviously stayed in bed, and it was so special. Joe was running it, and at the time when Anto had shown me the start list, I thought, okay, I might be able to do it, we'll see. But I just went out with the goal of running as best I could at the time, and it all clicked. I ran really well and was leading fairly early on. It's laps as well, so you get lots of support from people lapping you or you lapping people. And Joe was kind of there or thereabouts in the last lap. Then I thought, oh, I'll push on. We both had the goal at the time of breaking 4 hours, which would have been quite a challenge for us. And I pushed on, was doing really well till about maybe a kilometre to go, and I started going backwards nearly. I was just wrecked. If there weren't people waiting at the finish line, I think I would have just jumped into a bush and hidden there. But in fact, I kept going. Obviously, I wasn't not going to finish. And just on the home straight, I could hear Joe yelling at me. I didn't break 4 hours. And I know that would really annoy some people. It didn't annoy me. I ran the absolute best I could. I jumped across the line, crawled, fell, and finished it in 4 hours and I think 69 seconds or something. I can't remember anyways. But yeah, that would be my best performance. Again, all races, I love racing, love the camaraderie, love the fun of people around me, people overtaking me overtaking people. So I'm really missing racing at the moment. So when they eventually come back, I will be racing just as much. But Donadee 50k, I was lucky as well that year. It was, I think that was the first year, maybe second year, that it was granted status of the national 50k. So that, funnily enough, made me the 50k champion for the year. So at the time, I used to remind the kids of that anytime they weren't taking me seriously. And as anyone who has teenage kids will know, you can't impress your teenagers. So they weren't really that impressed. But they were there on the day to cheer me in. So it was a good day. Special day, really special day. My goals at the minute, well, I've got one very short-term goal, which is tomorrow I'm hoping to run Donadee Celebration 50k, which is a 50k that people have signed up for virtually. And it would have been due to take place in Donadee Forest tomorrow. For very obvious reasons, it's not taking place. So I guess whilst running at the moment during the pandemic and taking on challenges, I'm always very much aware that we're all have to be extremely responsible for our health. So even running when it's slightly slippy, etc., I'm ultra careful. I'd be careful anyways for my own health, but none of us wants to end up in a hospital unnecessarily and add to the workload of the poor healthcare workers. So I'm planning to do that tomorrow. The forecast is not good at all, and not surprisingly. So I was going to possibly take up my full 5k radius and kind of keep going as I've done for some of the training plans. But my plan now at the moment is I've mapped a nice easy 5k route, which will be nice and easy one way with the wind in my back and horrendous with the wind in my face. And I'm just going to keep dropping back to the house so that if I need to change clothes or get a hot drink or get a snack, or if I'm not doing well, I will pull out because safety is number one. So that's my short-term goal. I'm really hoping and planning on finishing it tomorrow, and if it takes all day, I will. And it's great. For a lot of people, the virtual challenges, they suit some people, don't suit other people. I've kind of signed up to ones that support a charity or ones that are special to my heart. And I like them. It's great. It's kind of keeping me motivated. Obviously, I've had to up my mileage a bit for that run tomorrow, so that's great. But for lots of people, I wouldn't say, you know, if you're not doing virtual running, that's fine, whatever your goal is at the minute. Long term throughout COVID is just to keep running if I can. I'm currently on day, I think it's 104 of a run streak. On November 1st, I decided when the lockdown was back again, had been back for a couple of weeks, I thought, okay, let's start a run streak. I think all of us innocently thought that first lockdown this time last year was the only lockdown. So I decided I'm a big park runner, and of course Parkrun, like everything else, is off at the minute. But they've come up with an amazing initiative which is called Not Parkrun. So you can log your 5k and you're allowed to log one every single day. And then at the end of the week, the Parkrun HQ magic system will pick out your best time from the week and assign you that for the week. And it doesn't affect your already parkruns you have logged with Parkrun, but you've got your not parkruns. So I'm up to 100 and maybe, I'm not sure, not parkruns at the minute. And well, obviously it's at least 105 if I remember to log them. And that's keeping me really motivated. I'm enjoying the run streak. Again, like everything else, if it ever became a chore, I wouldn't stick with it. So I like going out every day, and I do lots and lots of easy running. And I actually think it is helping with my fitness. Run streaks aren't for everyone because rest days are very important. But a nice jog of a 5k for me is just as good as a rest day. So that would be it. I'm happy to keep that going so long as it's safe and I'm going well. Miraculously, I seem to be, and I'll touch wood when I say it, not injured during the pandemic, which is great for me, but even better for my family, because I imagine if I weren't running, I'd be incredibly hard to live with. So yeah, for short term, I really would love some races back when it's safe for us to do so. Cannot wait for Parkrun to come back. The first one back, I'll be run director helping people run. That's it really. Just keep running to keep happy and healthy and staying sane.
Super information there, really informative, really good stuff there for all people who are new to running on how to approach getting better, or maybe information going forward to get involved with groups. Olwyn is a Parkrun ambassador, very much involved in Parkrun. She was the first female director of the Women's Mini Marathon, among many other achievements. So we will be coming back in the next couple of weeks to have another chat with Olwyn, especially to see how she gets on tomorrow in her Donaghy 50k challenge. And we're just going to give Olwyn a little gift here now to keep her ears warm tomorrow. So we have a thermal headband there. Hopefully it helps her to get through the 50k tomorrow. There you go, Olwyn.
That will be very much needed with the forecast tomorrow, Sean. Thank you so much. I'll definitely be, we'll know if it works after 50k. Thanks, Sean.
Super. Thanks very much, Olwyn. And thanks very much, guys, for tuning in. If you're liking what you're seeing and hearing here on the channel, if you could like, share and subscribe would be great too. Thanks very much, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Thanks, guys.